Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. So of course I figured I would talk about more spooky stuff. Of course, it's the month of October after all. Obviously going to be using this as an excuse to talk about horror movies and whatnot, which of course is my favorite time of year. As far as I'm concerned, this is a year-round thing for me, folks, obviously. So, for today's video, I figured I would talk about something vampire related. Well, I was going to eventually do that anyway, when you think about it. I like vampires. So, yeah, it's this one right here, folks. And it also went under the title of this. Why does this have two different titles? I have no idea. This happens quite a few times when I mentioned other movies. We have more than one title for whatever reason. But I just figured okay, obviously this is going to be one of these low budget features that maybe not that many people are aware of, really, but I'll mention this anyway because, well, like I said, I like vampires, and of course, I like digging for the more obscure titles that a lot of people may not want to talk about to begin with. Yes, okay, it may not be the more popular stuff around town, but I honestly don't give a shit. I like the lesser known titles anyway, so of course I'm going to be talking about these. So just figured, what the hell? It gives me an excuse to talk about something vampire related, so here we are, I suppose. Well, nevertheless, obviously, I do have to talk about the plot. So let's get into it, shall we? Here we go. So we get to see that there is this coffin that's been loaded into a truck here at the port of Los Angeles. Said truck then goes into this gated mansion in the Southern California hills. The thing is that there's this woman that pretty much hosts this thing in hopes of contacting her recently deceased mother. So let's just say things do get rather crazy. So at the party, we get to see that there are several of her friends, obviously. And yeah, like I said, there's quite a few people, quite a few characters are introduced here. But yeah, let's just say, obviously, things get rather weird as the film progresses because it's a horror movie. Who said this wouldn't be a normal movie anyway? Of course, it's gonna be a little weird in one way or another. It's a thing with horror movies. Of course, it's gonna be a little strange. So yeah, basically, there was this couple that like pretty much invites this. Let's just say this individual who basically, let's say, recently immigrated to America, was contract this thing for a woman's recently deceased mother. So yeah, obviously something doesn't seem quite right. Of course, something doesn't seem really normal, like at all. Of course, that's the thing. And then when it comes, that's pretty much what the idea here is. When it comes to this kind of a vampire movie, obviously. So yeah, I could definitely say that this was definitely a huge hit in the 1970s, of course, and that's the thing. It's definitely one of the films I can say that was from back then. That was definitely better than a lot of the horror films, well, specifically vampire films, that are better than a lot of stuff nowadays when it comes to vampire genre. Yes, of course, I'm gonna be one of those people that believes that they don't make them like they used to. No. So this was definitely one of those vampire films that was not produced by the Hammer Company, which I've mentioned before because they produce a lot of the vampire films of their own. But anyway, this remained to be in good production nonetheless, despite the fact that they were not created by the Hammer Company. I don't think Hammer Company, this is a studio I mentioned before because they made a lot of vampire movies. A lot of them were pretty good and popular at the time. But this one of those that was not a Hammer film, a Hammer production. So that's definitely a thing, folks. Yes, obviously, this is a genre horror. That's of course going to have like huge amounts of vampire related movies. Of course. And this is definitely one of them. Of course, obviously, folks. I've covered a lot of vampire movies on this channel for quite some time. I honestly don't mind it really. I don't mind talking about these kinds of movies. I really don't mind. I like vampire films. But yeah, this is definitely one of these films from long ago. A blast from the past, of course. Yeah, the older movies. That's what I like. I like to talk about the older films from way long ago because there was a certain charm to these movies. It's pretty chaotic in some ways, I guess, and it should be. Of course, it's gonna be a little off. Of course, like I was saying, this is definitely one of these movies I can definitely say that's pretty effective in its own way as it tries to create this plenty, a lot of moments of suspense, atmosphere, and whatnot. Yes, it may not be the biggest budget film out there, but it definitely has a lot of nice set designs, clothing, wardrobe, and whatnot. It has a lot of good stuff going for it. The acting was actually pretty good. Yeah, it's a horror film that has good acting. Who knew? Yes, I know that this genre is not known for that kind of a thing, but whatever. But nonetheless, I just thought I'd talk about this kind of a thing because I have not reviewed a vampire themed anything for a good while. So this seems like a good opportunity to do so. So I just figured, why the hell not? I guess. Oh yeah, definitely. So all in all, I can say that this was something I would definitely recommend for those who have not seen it as of yet. So if you want something like vintage, this is definitely something I would say check out, folks. It's pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was nicely done as a whole. Yeah, okay, man. I have these CGI special effects like Transformers, like Michael Bay. I still don't like Michael Bay like at all. Anyway, so ultimately, yes, I would recommend it, even though it might feel a little slower or even it's not super fast paced, like fancy special effects and explosions and whatnot, like Michael Bay would do his films. Something blowing up like every 2 minutes. Yeah, there was that, obviously. Anyway, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 7.4. I think it's a 7.4 out of 10 for me. And of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh, yeah, later.